In this spot, we're going to be wrapping our vines around the new DC Collectibles DC Designer Series DC Bombshells Figure 3 Poison Ivy. I don't know if I was honestly the most interested in picking up this particular figure over the other three figures that we've looked at so far, but we'll see how the figure does overall. Now, to get this look going, I've once again relied on the tried and true Harley Quinn stand that seems to have made a couple appearances now in these videos. She does have a small footprint, not maybe to the awkward stance that maybe Wonder Woman had, because her feet were very, very small. Poison Ivy seems to be a little bit better, although again her feet are very tiny. She seems to still stand okay. Now, I did mention that this is a figure that I really wasn't as thrilled to pick up. The Wonder Woman was really number 1, Harley Quinn number 2, and even Batwoman, I would have said, was number 3. Poison Ivy, as much as I loved Poison Ivy, I just didn't think the design did very well in the figure. Now that I think I have it in hand, you know what, overall I think I'm pretty happy with it. It's not without its problems, but we'll look at those bit by bit. Starting first with her face, I think her face is really nice. One of the big problems I think this Poison Ivy figure has is just doesn't have enough depth to it. If you look at the artwork that the Poison Ivy is based from, you'll see that the figure itself doesn't seem to have nearly the level of dark undertones that the artwork seems to convey. In the artwork, she has things such as like darker lips, more black, a lot of more black incorporated in the artwork that doesn't seem to shine as much here in this figure. Poison Ivy's things such as her eyeshadow here come across reading a little bit just too green, whereas artwork-wise, it's a little bit more of a darker tone. Same with the eyebrows. The eyebrows are actually black rather than the red here. The hair is sculpted really nice, I'll give it that, and I like the sculpting there of the rose here. I just feel like there's something missing. It's a beautiful face, don't get me wrong, but what really this figure could have used was some of those really cool dark colors. Even like the areas around her bustier top here has more black here, unlike the figure here that's conveying it in green. I do like that they've incorporated more of the tattoo work. This is something that they could have skimped on, but tattoos look pretty good. Here's the blacks that I was talking about here. The blacks showcased very well in the tattoos. Don't really see any light of day when it comes to the actual outfit that she's wearing. To give the figure credit, though, I mean, it's one of the best representations of the Bombshells. The Poison Ivy here just reads like a Betty Page style of design, complete with the very predominant bangs, something that Betty Page very much known for. Again, I really like the outfit. I just feel like the areas that are dark green should read more closer, at least from some of the artwork, should read a little bit more closer to like a dark black, actually. Now, this particular figure, though, again, favoring the display stand, one of the unfortunate aspects of the figure is the lower knee area, at least on my figure, is a little loose. I can't imagine it to be the case with every figure on the market, but nonetheless, this figure's leg, sadly, is a little bit loose. Accessories, she gets herself like a little Venus flytrap vine. It's a really nice spiked detail, I like that, and I'm incorporating a matching flower to the one that's paired to the side of her face. It's not wire-framed, it's actually just a flexible plastic. The detailing is very nice, though, on the Venus flytrap. Now, what I've actually done, though, is running the vine underneath her head. Just kind of tucking it underneath. Basically, the hair can hold so much of the vine as it is, and then you can accommodate the rest of it by drooping it, or looping it, I should say, around her arm here. And then you can extend the hand out again. These do a really good job, especially depending on which hands you end up using. You can kind of drape the vine work around the hands, displaying it really nice, artsy looking display like that. One of the other accessories that she does come with too is a standalone rose, matching again that same pink and green. Put that into her hand. I might ultimately favor more so putting the vines just kind of wrapping around her arms. And then one of the other things that I've done as well, I swapped the hands out from the initial beginning of this review in favor of the more exaggerated gestured hands. Defaulted, she does come with just a pair of closed fists. I've just simply taken those fists out, and then she has a couple of other hands. Now these hands actually are suited perfectly for the rose, as you can see right there. The thing is though that the plastic seems very, very bendable, and it's also a slightly translucent green, so I don't know, hopefully that these don't develop stress marks over time. It really depends on how, it also depends on how much wear and tear you're putting to the fingers. If you're really only using them for the roses themselves, the single rose, shouldn't be an issue whatsoever. Ivy gets herself a ball joint. Doesn't really let you rotate the head all the way around, granted, just because the hair does butt against the sides of the shoulders here. Shoulders hinge out though, no issues whatsoever. Rotation in the arms, the biceps. You've got that double hinged elbow that we've already looked at before. Same issue as before though, it's got that little indentation where unfortunately, unless you're bending the arm, that double hinge leaves this big noticeable awkward gap in between the forearm and the bicep. The rotation in the hand, also individual hinges. This has also a ball joint in the upper torso, the lower ab crunch. Nice rotation in the leg portion. It kind of actually seems like when you're moving the leg, the ball joint or hinge joint wants to drop itself down from the socket portion of the leg. Still, you get a full range of motion back and forth. Double hinge on the knee. Now again, this one knee is a little too loose for my liking. And also you've got the hinge back and forth on the foot. Doesn't really hinge back and to the sides, but a forward and back motion on the ankle there. Poison Ivy is the best example, I think, from the four figures that represents the DC Bombshells. She really encapsulates the old Bombshell models of that era, like the Betty Pages. She's one of the more beautiful looking figures as well, really representing a great face sculpt, body sculpt, and costume. The only nitpicks I could really make about the figure is that I wish she had some of the more darker undertones that we see in the artwork, more incorporating the blacks in favor of the dark greens. The accessories are also a nice touch. I wish, unfortunately, her articulation and the looseness in her knees wasn't as problematic as it is, but all around a very, very pleasing figure. You can currently pick this up at your local comic book store. Can't find a local comic book store? It's as easy as going to www.comicshoplocator.com. Hey, speaking of easy, if you want to also subscribe to this channel, it's as easy as clicking the subscribe button down below. Not only are you going to be seeing this video, but you're going to be seeing all the other videos that I've reviewed on this channel. Also, like Poison Ivy, you might also be able to find a whole ton of DC collectibles and other figures in my playlist, so check those out. I'll see you next time.